Hey, what's up? Today we're working on our little bit of flooring that we're going to do for this model. We decided to use a 12-inch wide by our 48-foot long. We got a little bit extra length in here, and we'll show you why here in a second. But we're not going to just leave this straight because we want to keep our tire nesting the same as we had before. So we just took, in our last about 16 inch to 16 inches, we just took it over our tire and we just roll it until it kind of fit the contour of the tire real good. So we're going to be able to, like I said, do like we did before and still keep our nesting on the tire. So on the back end we'll have it swoop down, and then in the front it'll be flat, so it'll be nice and smooth while we're loading. But we're going to also add these plates to kind of protect us from scratching ourselves on the edges of this. One thing we were thinking about is sometimes when you're on a trip and you need to put luggage in the back of the razor, it's nice to be able to have something to stand on while you're getting up in the back of the razor. So we figured this would be something kind of flat, and like I said, it'll make it a little smoother while we're rolling. So we can just go ahead and move up into that next thing, and you'll just know when you've hit the right place where your wheels are nesting. One of the things we also did, and it's hard to see this, but we want one to ride. We want it to ride up on the edge of the metal, but then when it comes time for the tire to have the nesting, we needed it to be able to fall down in the groove. So we did about a 1/4 inch cut and trimmed up the inside of this piece. This will lay on top, and this will be able to slide back down in between. Just enjoy the footage. We're gonna get this knocked out. Next segment, fenders. Talking about fenders, we're going to do like we did on trailer 1.0. We're going to get this thing squared up, and we're going to have a piece of angle iron welded on like this. So I'm taking a look at this, and I'll be able to have a lot of good welding area by putting this piece is on just on the front cuff like that. So I'll be able to come up, come around, and then I'll flip it over and get all the inside pieces. Now, one thing we learned from trailer 1.0 was on the first time we went around, we had vibrating fenders, and you want to make sure they're completely solid. Now these are going to have a little advantage because the wind won't be able to scoop up in there to vibrate them, but we're going to really make sure we have a front and a back, and we'll run a bead all the way along the front of that. Okay, now we got our front brace in place. We flip the trailer over, weld it underneath so it's nice and sturdy. So what we kind of started out doing was just getting something. We used a piece of our angle block that got us 1 3/8 inches. So we wanted to create a spacing around the tire. And we're able to take this fender well, because we only have a certain amount of space up front, we're going to have to base everything off of the front. And like I said, this is just a stock fender. Said that it was good for a 15 to 16 inch wheel. Anyway, it left us with a certain type of radius. So one thing we want to be able to do is to get good clearance around the front. We want to be able to pull the tire out if we had to change it. So this will do that. And we wanted to have enough of the lip underneath so that any mud or anything would just get caught in here and fall down and wouldn't get caught up underneath the edge of the trailer. And we're going to have the same circumstances on the front. We're going to square it up on the frame, square it up with this lip, and then we're going to check our distance. And I did about a finger's width where the fender was going below the frame. And then I just set it there. And then I'm going to tack here and here. And then I'm going to go and tack the back end, make sure it's on the trailer frame itself tacked in 2 places. And then I'm going to run a solid bead all the way around here. And I'm going to turn my welder down to like a 2 or a 3, because this is real thin. This is sheet metal, so we'll blow right through it. We want to be able to, when we're welding, put most of our heat on this heavy angle and then let it spread up as we let it pull. That way we're not focusing our wire feed into this metal so it doesn't blow through. We made 2 tacks there and there. Now I'm going to check my distance down here. I got about a finger's width. Everything's pretty square, so I'm going to go ahead and tack it here and here to hold this in place while I run that bead. Then we'll come back on the back side. We're going to have this guy just similar, but I'm going to go all the way down with it, and then I'll slide it up in there, and then I'll tack it, and then I'll check it, and then I'll run another bead here. So we finished running our bead here, made some welds on the inside of here and on the bottom side, and we just let everything sit on this fender, because like I said, we had to match the first part first, and then whatever happened with the end was fine. We got our finger gap below on the hang down below the trailer frame, just squared everything up, just took several measurements, took our time. If you wanted a larger gap between your tire, or smaller, or whatever, or you had a different fender, you just have to kind of try and keep things as even as you can. But just remember, the whole point of this trailer is so that we can flip it up. So we had to have a certain amount of space in the front, or otherwise it wouldn't work. We're going to work on the other side, and y'all can just enjoy the video. I hope you're enjoying the footage so far. You might start to notice some little things like, well, we didn't show you to put the tires on, might not have put some nuts and bolts in here or there, but those are just kind of general knowledge things. And we're trying to be more focused on the specifics of the uniqueness of this trailer build. We don't want to bore you, and you might start to notice some things have some paint on. The paint took a lot of time, lots of coats, lots of drying, so we didn't show that. That was just lots, and we had the family in there. Everyone had paintbrushes. Anyway, so just continue watching, continue liking, subscribing. The next video is going to be building the trolley hanger, and it gets kind of detailed. So we got some whiteboarding going on. Going to get all the specifics in there for you. So hopefully you're enjoying. Like, share, subscribe, We'll see you on the next video. Don't be messing with my trailer alignment with all your cowboy crap. Action! Fenders, Fenders, Fenders. So I ordered these standard fenders from Amazon. They're